Getting specifically to LeBron, it has got to a point. I think it warrants, yo, bro. Why don't you just come back to Cleveland to end your career? This cannot be disputed. He'd have a better chance of winning the championship in Cleveland than he would in LA. The road to prosperity is hard. It's much easier in the Eastern Conference this upcoming.
LeBron James isn't just a superstar athlete. He's one of the most influential figures in sports history. Yet, for all that is accomplished, the story of his career still is an open chapter waiting to be written. With every passing season, the question grows louder. Where should he finish his journey? Recently, Stephen A. Smith reignited the debate with a bold suggestion. He believes the King should close out his career where it all began, back home in Cleveland. And this isn't just about basketball. It's about legacy, family, and ending the book of LeBron's career in a way that feels complete, powerful, and poetic. Think about it. LeBron is a man who carried the Cavaliers to the finals as a young phenom, dragging rosters that had no business competing on the game's biggest stage. Years later, after his Miami chapter, he returned to Cleveland with unfinished business and delivered the city's first NBA championship, a moment that defined his career and ended decades of heartbreak for an entire fan base. Stephen A.'s vision is clear, a third and final chapter in Cleveland, a closing act that ties the entire story together. This is about more than stats or trophies. Every all-time great has a story fans never forget. Michael Jordan has a Bulls dynasty. Kobe Bryant has his unwavering loyalty to the Lakers. Tim Duncan defined quiet dominance with the Spurs. For LeBron, the unique part of his career is how many franchises he's touched. But Cleveland is where his roots are. Ending anywhere else, Stephen A. argues, would feel like leaving the book unfinished. And he has a point. The Lakers gave LeBron another championship. But does it carry the same emotional gravity as Cleveland? No. Los Angeles was an important chapter, but not the chapter. Cleveland is home. It's where the promise began and where it was fulfilled. A final run that wouldn't just honor LeBron. It would honor the city, the fans, and the legacy he built in Ohio. Stephen A.'s message isn't complicated, but it's powerful. It's time to put sentiment above everything else. Cleveland isn't just a franchise on LeBron's resume. It's his foundation. Returning there for one last ride would elevate his career from legendary to unforgettable, turning his farewell into a symbol of loyalty, redemption, and closure. That's why Stephen A.'s words hit so hard. They weren't just a hot take. They were a reminder that greatness isn't just measured in points or rings. It's measured in how you finish the story. For LeBron, the perfect ending may already be waiting back where it all began.
Specifically to LeBron, it has got to a point. I think it warrants, yo, bro. Why don't you just come back to Cleveland to end your career?
Stephen A. Smith didn't just stop at the emotional argument. He doubled down with a competitive bombshell. LeBron James actually has a better shot at winning another championship in Cleveland than he does in Los Angeles. And honestly, the numbers, the rosters, and the conference landscapes all back him up. The Lakers are stuck in a brutal Western Conference. You've got Denver, Golden State, Dallas. Every playoff run is a death march through juggernauts. Meanwhile, over in the East, the Cavaliers are sitting on a roster tailor-made for a superstar. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, an explosive young core that just needs one thing, veteran leadership. Add LeBron James to that mix, and suddenly the Cavaliers aren't just a playoff team. They're a championship favorite. Stephen A. is making a point people love to ignore. At this stage in his career, it's not about money, market size, or spotlight. It's about winning. LeBron has already shattered the scoring record. What he's chasing now is history, the chance to tie or even surpass legends like Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan in championships. And the truth is, Los Angeles doesn't give him that chance anymore. The roster is aging. The chemistry is shaky. The West is unforgiving. Cleveland, on the other hand, is young, deep, hungry, and perfectly built to amplify what LeBron still does best. They can defend, they can score, and most importantly, they can take the load off his shoulders so he has energy left for those defining playoff moments. That's the missing piece. Not just talent, but someone who has climbed a mountain before and knows the path. When Stephen A. lays it out, the argument hits like a hammer. Cleveland isn't just a sentimental ending. It's the smartest move if LeBron wants to walk away with one more ring.
This cannot be disputed. He'd have a better chance of winning the championship in Cleveland than he would in LA.
Stephen A. Smith doesn't just throw out hot takes for the sake of noise. When he makes a claim like this, it comes with weight. And his latest one might just be his most powerful when it comes to LeBron James. Go back to Cleveland. Finish your career where it all began.at first. People thought this was just about nostalgia, about tying a neat bow on LeBron's legendary career. But Stephen A. made it clear this is bigger than storylines. This is about legacy. This is about competition. This is about giving yourself the best possible chance to add one more ring before walking away from the game. Think about it. LeBron's career has always been told in chapters. The first chapter in Cleveland was the rise. The phenom from Akron carrying underdog Cavs teams that had no business making the finals, dragging them there anyway because his talent was simply undeniable. The second chapter came after Miami, when he returned home and fulfilled his promise, delivering the championship that ended 5 decades of heartbreak for the city of Cleveland. Now Stephen A. is saying it's time for a third and final chapter, the grand finale, the one that brings everything full circle and cements LeBron's story as not just great, but mythic. And here's where Stephen A. flips the script. This isn't just sentiment talking. He makes a cold, competitive case. Cleveland actually gives LeBron a better chance at another championship than the Lakers do. That's right. He's not just saying it would look good. He's saying it would work. Why? Because the NBA is a tale of two conferences right now. The Western Conference is a war zone. Denver, Golden State, Dallas, the Clippers, and on. Every playoff run in the West is a bloodbath. You can be a great team and still get sent home in the first round. That's what LeBron faces in Los Angeles. The Lakers' roster is older, more injury-prone, and frankly, the window is closing fast. Now look at Cleveland. The Cavaliers are young, they are deep, and they are hungry. Darius Garland is an all-star playmaker. Evan Mobley is one of the best young defenders in the league. Donovan Mitchell is a proven scorer who just needs the right leadership to push him over the top. That's a team on the verge. Insert LeBron James into that mix. Suddenly, you don't just have a contender, you have a favorite. And this is where Stephen A. delivers a knockout blow. To win a championship, you only need 4 wins in the finals. That's it. 4 wins. And if Cleveland with LeBron can dominate the East and walk into that final stage, who better to deliver those 4 wins than the man who's been there 10 times, who's already proven he can climb that mountain? Stephen A. is essentially saying, why fight uphill battles in the West when you could take the smarter route in the East, dominate with Cleveland's young core, and set yourself up for one more shot at immortality? LeBron doesn't have time to waste anymore. Every season counts. Every decision matters. This isn't about the biggest spotlight or the biggest paycheck. It's about maximizing the endgame. But beyond the strategy, let's not forget the story. Because legacy is not just about statistics. It's about moments. It's about memory. Jordan has the Bulls dynasty. Kobe has a lifelong loyalty to the Lakers. Duncan has his empire with the Spurs. LeBron's story is more complex, spread across multiple franchises. But Cleveland is the heart of it. It's home. It's where the legend was born that if he ends his career somewhere else, say, in Los Angeles, it'll always feel like the book closed halfway through the final chapter. But if he ends it in Cleveland, that's poetry. That's destiny. That's a story people will tell for generations.
If LeBron James came back to Cleveland, favorites to come out of the East, and you only need 4 wins to win a championship.
When Stephen A. Smith says that LeBron James needs to return to Cleveland and deliver one last championship before walking away, he's not just analyzing basketball, he's cutting to the very core of what legacy truly means. Because let's be honest, for all of LeBron's accomplishments, for all of the records, the MVPs, the finals appearances, there is still a lingering feeling that his story hasn't closed the way it should. There's brilliance, yes. There's dominance, yes. But there isn't finality. There isn't poetry. There isn't that perfect ending that makes a career feel untouchable. And that's what Stephen A. is saying. Los Angeles will never give LeBron that. In LA, no matter how many points he scores, no matter what accolades he stacks up, he will always be a guest. He will always be the superstar who passed through, but never the immortal who defined the franchise. The Lakers will always belong to Magic Johnson, to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to Kobe Bryant. LeBron can add to their trophy case, but he cannot own their story Cleveland Though, Cleveland is different. Cleveland is home. Cleveland is a soil from which his legend first grew. It's where the kid from Akron became the chosen one. It's where heartbreak turned to euphoria when he finally delivered that 2016 championship, the greatest comeback in finals history. Cleveland is not just another stop in his career. It's his kingdom, and if LeBron were to return there in the twilight of his career and deliver one more ring, that would be more than basketball. That would be myth. That would be redemption. That would be closure. Because here's the uncomfortable truth that Stephen A. is pointing at Michael Jordan never needed to chase redemption. Jordan never had to beg for a perfect ending. His ending was perfect. He left the game with a shot in Utah, one flick of the wrist, one frozen moment in time that became the most iconic farewell in sports history. Jordan's career was airtight, unquestioned, untouchable. LeBron, for all his greatness, has never had that. Instead, his career has been defined by movement, leaving Cleveland, joining Miami, returning, leaving again, joining LA. And with every move came criticism. With every move came questions about loyalty, about dominance, about whether he was building greatness or chasing it. That's a crack in his legacy. That's a shadow he cannot escape. That's why, no matter what he does in Los Angeles, people will always argue. People will always say his story needed something more. And when you're still trying to fix your legacy this late in your career, you've already lost a comparison to Michael Jordan. Jordan didn't need fixing. Kobe didn't need fixing. Their stories were whole, complete, larger than life. LeBron is still trying to write the ending, and that's why Stephen A.'s challenge hit so hard. He's not just saying, LeBron should go back to Cleveland. He's saying, LeBron must go back to Cleveland if he wants to end this the right way. Because without that one final act, LeBron's farewell risks being forgettable compared to Jordan's. Numbers are not enough. Stats are not enough. It's the aura. It's the resonance. It's the story.